Yes. Now you understand this program, right? So if everything is success, we are returning the value at line number 14.
40.
Correct?
Right.
So if something went wrong, then this piece of code will execute. Correct?
Right.
Then also I am returning the value as a 0. Correct? So here before returning the value 0, so let print something here. Please provide.
This out.
Please provide non-zero value as total. Correct?
Hmm.
This is clear, right? Now let me run this faulty code, or then we will see the results. So correct, we are providing, please provide non-zero value as a total, and we are giving sum as a,
0.
this is also perfect, right?
Right.
Okay, now the question here is, say for instance you connect to you open the database connection and you are processing the
Data.
data, correct? So in our case, what kind of exception we are getting? Arithmetic exception, right? If you print
Right.
here, you will see here arithmetic exception. See what is the exception we are getting? Java.lang. Arithmetic exception, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, this code is fine. Okay, keep it like this. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm declaring a string variable, string name equal to ABC. Can I declare like this?
Okay. Yes.
After that, what I want to do, I want to display the length of the string.
Okay. It should be name dot length, right?
Correct. Name dot length.
Okay.
So now let me print it. You will get first it is now the exception is we are getting exception because because the exception is generating at line number 11. Correct.
Okay.
So because we are yeah.
Just a quick question. Is there any way, let's say for example, I'm running a 250 course and I don't
Yes.
know which line is been giving out the error. How would I
Correct.
figure it out?
Yeah, that's what. Now you have to analyze your code first. So this line number 11 may give some exception, correct? It may give
Right.
or it may not give, correct?
All right.
So that is based on the input. It may give the exception or it may not give the exception, correct?
Right. Based on the input, right.
Okay. If at all, if it is giving the exception, what kind of exception it will give?
It will if the user put in the incorrect value, so then it will be catching up that try catch, and
Yes.
then that will give the e dot print state.
So this is, it is giving java.lang arithmetic exception, correct?
Right.
So exception is a class, okay, and arithmetic exception is a subclass of exception.
Okay.
The hierarchy here it is. Okay, let me show you. Yes. If you see here, right now the exception what we are getting here is java.lang
Java
arithmetic exception, correct?
Uh-huh.
And here what class we mentioned here? Exception. So what is the is there any relation between exception and arithmetic exception? Yes, there is a relation. The relation here it is exception is a class, correct?
Right.
You see that symbol, C symbol?
Uh-huh.
And the similar way here, arithmetic exception also is a class. It is available under this package, java.lang package.
Okay.
Okay, now what is the relation between exception and arithmetic exception? That you will see from this picture. See, exception is a class.
Okay.
And this is a super class. If you see down right, I think here we don't have that exception. So exception is a class and subclass is arithmetic exception.
Okay.
So you got it. You got
Okay.
the relation, right? So
Subclass
if you want to see, right, click here. Oh, here it's not coming. So let me open the class, Control Shift T. All right, H, arithmetic exception. So here, right, arithmetic exception you saw, right? So this is a class, correct?
Right.
So what is the super class here?
Runtime exception.
Okay, let me open that one also. Yes, runtime exception also is a.
Runtime is a class.
And what is
But
the super class?
exception.
Yes, no. Super class is exception and subclass is runtime exception and exception class is subclass of.
Exception.
So you got the hierarchy, right?
Right.
So meaning, so here we supposed to assign arithmetic exception. Okay, this is arithmetic. This is also sufficient, right, to handle our exception, correct?
Right.
So if some error will come, it will come to this block and it will execute, correct?
Right.
This is perfect. Say for instance, now give the value is 110. So now execute this results and we'll see the value. So now it is perfect, right?
Right, because it's calculating accurately because previously you had 0. That's why it was giving the error.
Correct, yes.
Okay. And then you printing out the length of the string ABC, which is
Yes, yes, yes. So you are printing length equal to 3, correct?
right.
Okay, say for instance, at line number 14, yeah.
Okay. Whenever we are using the exception,
Mhm.
so exception is we are printing it out, running against the data, runtime error, right? We are handling it.
Mhm.
So in order to provide us where the error is actually coming, right?
Mhm.
Is the purpose of that we are using the try catch.
Yes, yes. If you want to know where the exception came exactly, it will print that one also here. If you execute it, so where is that e dot print stack trace? Now let me give the faulty code. So now it will fail, right?
Right.
It will display the line number. See here, java dot lang dot blah blah at line number final demo java at line number 11.
11. Okay.
It is
So
saying at line number 11, it is giving some problem. You need to understand after that. You need to analyze the code.
okay. So that's the main purpose. So okay, using the try catch to catch up how the error is exactly giving.
Yes. So this method is calling from which line? So you click here. So line number 16.
Okay.
So first line number 26 is calling average method. This method will start executing and it is failing here.
Right.
So it is giving both the line numbers. It will give some indication to you, line number 11 and line number.
Okay. So that's okay. Makes sense.
Okay. Now, so here we have a variable called name equal to
ABC.
ABC. So say for instance, you got name as a null value.
Okay.
Default value as a null.
Null means 0, right?
Null means it's a default value for string. For integer, default value is 0.
Okay.
Okay, now let me run it. We will see what we will get. So no, let me give this as a 10 successful code. So now your sum average will calculate successfully, correct?
Right.
Now let me run it. Did you see that what happened here?
This is line number 15.
It's failed.
It failed.
Why?
And because hold on, line number 15 is get fails because of the line number 15. It's not able to print the length of the
Yes.
code.
Yes. Because we don't have a defined value there.
Right.
Name don't have any valid defined value, correct?
Right.
It is having null. Null is a default value for string.
Right. Okay.
So because of that, it is failing. Now the issue is at line number
26. So it's also in 26 get
now
able.
the issue is at line number 15.
Wait, we just analyzed the 15, right?
Yes, yes.
Because
Now
it-
the issue is at line number 15.
yeah, first issue is on the line number 15, and then second was 26, right?
Correct. Yeah. Now first issue, there is no problem. First, okay, you are looking at line number 26, right?
Right.
Maybe we are calling the average method. That's what it is telling. This method is failing. Average method.
Right, because of the line number 15 did not execute. That's why.
Yes, failing. No, but now we don't have any exception class to handle this scenario. Correct? Do we have?
No.
Our exception handling is there, but it's not printing anything. See, did you see anything here? Please provide non-zero value.
Nope.
Why? Because this is not executing. Now it is raising a different exception. The exception type is
Main method. Null print
null
pointer.
pointer exception. Correct? But we have exception only to handle arithmetic exception, but we don't return any exception which is handling null pointer exception. Correct?
Right.
So in that case, what you have to do, you have to write one more catch block.
So it's like now, since I'm kind of working on the two different exception.
Yes, yes. Please provide value for name. Correct?
Right.
So now let me run it. We'll see. So what is telling? Please provide value for name. So if null pointer exception will come, which block will execute?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
If null pointer exception will come, which block will execute?
Exception will come if the null. It's the first exception will no, second one.
Second one will execute. If
Right.
arithmetic exception, this will execute. Correct?
Right. Automatic one, that's the one which one has the error of the putting the wrong value.
Correct. Say for instance, yeah. So this is the way to keep more exception block so that we will get exact issue. Correct? Now we are getting exact issue, right? Whether it's null pointer exception or it is arithmetic exception. Correct?
Right.
Say for instance, for time being, for a second, what I will do, I will comment out everything.
Okay.
I'm going to keep only one catch block with exception class. So here I'm going to print as a exception occurred.
Okay. So this is a different. Okay. This is the previous one that you printed at the beginning. Exception A.
Okay, now now I'm going to run the program. See, now did you see it? Are you getting any valid meaning specific message? It is saying exception occurred.
Right. That's what
But
I'm
we
trying.
don't know what exception is. Null pointer exception, we don't know, and we don't know it. What is that exception? Arithmetic exception, correct? Just we are saying.
Exception occur.
So why? Because exception is a superclass of all exceptions, correct?
Right.
So that's what it can able to handle all kind of exceptions, but we are not able to give generic value, generic message, correct?
Right.
So if you want to give generic message, then we have to write a specific exception handling like this.
Okay. So if I even the tracker, so I can write the any sort of the code. It could be a string, right?
It can able to, yes, it can able to handle all kind of exceptions.
Okay.
But arithmetic exception means it will land only, or it can able to catch only arithmetic exceptions, correct?
Right.
Mean null pointer means it can able to catch only null pointer exceptions.
Right.
So this is called generic messages. This is called generic exception handling.
Okay. So is there any other exception that is there for it, or
If
it's
there is
just
so many exceptions is there, we will see slowly one by one, one by one.
okay?
Okay, there is so many is there. If you see this picture, right? See this many exceptions is there. Still there is so many, but we will explain you slowly. Right now we saw runtime exception and exception. Only these two we saw. And we saw yesterday stack overflow error, correct?
Right.
So we will see again back. I will explain you later. I mean, as part of this exception handling, I will explain you that one also.
Okay.
Okay, we will connect tomorrow, same time. Okay?
Okay. Sure. Definitely.
Fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much.